Good morning or good afternoon to everyone, except the men who have never found the clitoris but have somehow want full control over a woman's uterus. The same men who scream fake news whenever they're triggered when they can't even identify a fake orgasm. What's up, fam of liberty? And also everyone else who's watching this video who isn't following our channel for some unknown, mystifying, stupefying reason. It's your boy Big Sarge, the artist formerly known as Admin Tim. I am the founder of the Sons of Liberty social media organization that has been steadily enraging both MAGA fuckface ass clowns and some super woke leftists since 2015. If you saw us out in the streets at a protest for the first time or you're new to our channel, I know what you might be thinking, so let me go ahead and get this out of the way. Fuck Donald Trump. Fuck neo-Nazi illegal immigrant Elon Musk. Fuck GOP politicians. Fuck all these limp dick Democrat politicians that aren't out there in the streets fighting for us tooth and nail. And also, fuck the billionaires, the wealth hoarders that have their fucking boots on the neck of just about every American citizen. Neither this channel nor its comments sections are a safe space for bootlicking simps for a Russian asset, convicted felon, adjudicated rapist, Wish.com, fascist oligarch, failed insurrectionist, wannabe authoritarian tyrant, or his sugar daddy, the world's biggest supervillain, thin-skinned, beta, bitch-made, man-child, small dick, no functional dick whatsoever, ketamine drug addict from South Africa that nobody fucking elected. If you're still here, and you're not frantically rage typing in my comment sections like a triggered snowflake who's ass mad that the liberals are more patriotic than you, then maybe consider following this channel after you watch the video and deciding whether or not you like the cut of my jib. I meant to do that. Up front, tonight's live stream, we've got returning guest and former U.S. Navy pilot Ken Harbaugh from Valor Media on the show with us, along with retired U.S. Army officer Malcolm Ritchie, who is an active member of the Fam of Liberty. Malcolm is running for Congress in Ohio, and Ken is a badass who goes to Ukraine and dares Russians to try and blow him up with drones. Then, this coming Thursday, I've got Deja Fox, a social media sensation who is running for Congress in Arizona. We're going to talk to our up-and-coming political candidates about all kinds of things, ranging from their campaign to, I don't know, whatever strikes my fancy or your fancy or their fancy. Anyway, both live streams will be at 7 p.m. Eastern. That's Tuesday tonight, and then Thursday in like 2 days. Y'all motherfuckers love it when Big Sarge talks about veteran shit more than anything else that I do, because I look at my engagement stats and the view counts and comment counts, and they don't lie. So here we go. Buckle up your seatbelts with a 5-point safety harness, because I got big feet and they're made of lead. This past weekend, No Kings protests around the country drew over 10 million supporters showing up in person, and Velveeta Voldemort's stupid little Temu brand Soviet dictator military parade had even less people than the total number of bodies that showed up for both of his inaugurations. Not only was Trump's crowd virtually silent enough that you could hear the squeaky tanks, and yes, I know what a fucking tank sounds like, but when the squeaking is even more obvious because everyone in the crowd is flaccid, limp, and unenthusiastic, just like Trump's sexual prowess, at least according to Stormy Daniels. Not only was Trump's crowd like a dead fish, but also there were more people protesting his stupid birthday parade than there were willing attendees at his parade, which is saying something considering a super PAC put out Craigslist ads trying to recruit paid attendees. Guess they should have asked George Soros nicely, huh? But something that wasn't quite as well known, that is only just now starting to come out in the news cycle, is that also occurred in Washington, D.C., was a group of protesters, all of them military veterans and their families, who gathered in front of the Supreme Court. Yeah, on a Saturday, when court is probably not in session. The protesters were there to protest their taxpayer dollars being used for military parade and for putting combat troops on the streets of Los Angeles, when instead this money could be better put to use for housing, healthcare, and food. You know, the entire fucking reason Trump created douche and put Elon Mussolini in charge. Now, some of those protesters crossed the street to the U.S. Capitol building, and the U.S. Capitol police promptly accused them of breaching, get this, a bicycle rack perimeter. Some 60 people were arrested. D.C. police accused some of the veterans of assaulting police officers and resisting arrest. Now, I don't know if you know this, but assault on a police officer is a very, very loose definition, and it really depends on how much of a little bitch the cop wants to be. If you so much as spit on a cop, that's assault. If a cop fires a tear gas grenade at you using, say, a grenade launcher, it's dispersing a crowd. But if you pick it up and then throw it back by hand, you're assaulting a police officer with a deadly weapon. Among the people that were arrested was a Vietnam veteran who was using a walker. Now, I don't know if some of y'all Gen Xers have been paying attention, but we old, fam. I'm almost 50. I know it doesn't look like it on account of my good Scottish genes and how I can still fuck her gently, but it's true. And my dad is a Vietnam vet. That makes your dad's Vietnam vet aged as well. In 2025, even the youngest Vietnam vets are in their late 60s, and that's if they caught the absolute end of the war. Considering we officially got involved with direct military intervention in 1965, you're looking at old men who are more in their 70s on average. So remember how everyone on the left hated cops, all cops are bastards, fuck the police, and then all of a sudden, January 6th happens and we loved the U.S. Capitol Police because they stood their ground, did their job, and also it was a convenient ally for us because the Reich wing, yes, I said the Reich wing, used to be the party of law and order, the party of Blue Lives Matter, the party of Back to Blue. Well, them days are over, son. We're going back to treating them just like all other cops out there licking fascist boots. Now, I used to be a sheriff's deputy a long-ass time ago before I woke the fuck up. It was actually that waking the fuck up that prompted me to resign. So when I say that police officers have a wide range of discretion and latitude to cut you some slack, Jack, or giving someone a hassle, man, I'm speaking with the voice of experience. If you don't believe that, think about all the times that a white person shot at cops and was taken into custody with nothing more than a skinned-up kneecap versus the many hundreds of dead black boys and black men who had, say, a brightly colored squirt gun or maybe not even a gun at all and were just complying with lawful orders to slowly reach back into their back pocket and get their driver's license out. Yeah, remember that example? That was 2016. Philando Castile, who disclosed to an officer that he legally owned and carried a firearm, was not carrying at the time and was specifically ordered by that cop to slowly produce his wallet for identification and then was shot. And yet, just the other day, Minnesota police released a white woman named Ginny Belter, despite her car being full of cash, firearms, and passports just hours after her husband shot 4 people and a dog, killing 2 of the people outright. The dog later died of its wounds, and he was currently on the run from police. U.S. Capitol Police arrested an old Vietnam veteran who was using a walker to move around. There's no fucking way a single goddamn person who's watching this video hasn't ever seen a hunched over geriatric veteran using a walker. So you automatically know what imagery comes to mind when you see Grandpa with his Vietnam veteran ball cap and a walker, right? Now imagine this guy as a threat to you, a strapping lad, in shape, Capitol Police officer wearing body armor and carrying a combat load. What's Grandpa gonna do? Flip a switch on his walker and turn it into a cruiser 50 caliber machine gun? Get fucking real, pigs. To make matters worse, they confiscated Grandpa's walker and made him walk to the paddy wagon. Unfucking believable. First of all, these guys didn't have to arrest a single goddamn person. Second of all, who the fuck do you think you're arresting? John Wick? This guy isn't a threat to anyone. Have you ever been in the back of a police cruiser? I have. My big ass don't fit. So imagine some disabled veteran who needs a walker trying to get into the back of a cruiser with his hands tightly cuffed behind his back. Let me spell this shit out for you. The police are not ever your friend. At best, you get a needle in a haystack like Officer Tommy Norman, who I fucking love and respect for the massive amount of community building that he does. Or at least at second best, cops are a very temporary ally. And that extends as far as your level of respect to them and whether or not you're remotely suspicious, even if you're the clear victim. Cops aren't even legally obligated to protect you. Their only job is to protect property, and to be honest, if that property doesn't belong to the rich, then it's a crapshoot. You saw the story about cops who kneeled for protesters? Not your friend. The cops who shook hands with protesters? Not your friends. The cops who arrested elderly combat veterans with walkers and forced them to walk to the cop car? Definitely not your friend. If you're a cop and you're watching this and you're ass mad about what I'm saying, fuck you too, you fucking bootlicking simp for fascist tyrants. Don't give me none of that thin blue line bullshit either. That shit is more played out than Melania Trump's cooter. Cops will tear gas you and beat the ever-loving shit out of you and get away with it as long as they're protected by higher-ups. Cops haven't just been on the wrong side of every American struggle for equality. They are the wrong side of every American struggle for equality and humanity. Outside of bullshit Hollywood movies, when have you ever seen cops take the side of American citizens when it comes down to government or corporate overreach. Since it's Pride Month, how about we start with the origins of Pride? The Stonewall riots in 1969, Rodney King riots, LA 92, like the Ice Cube and Slayer cover from the Judgment Night soundtrack. Look it up. The entire whole ass civil rights struggle in the South. Want to go back even further than that? My favorite is the McMinn County War, or the Battle of Athens, August 1946. Why is it my favorite? Because a bunch of crooked politicians tried to deny returning World War II veterans the right to vote in an effort for them to stay in power. The cops started arresting and beating veterans. A couple veterans even got murdered. The veterans banded together and fought back. And I mean, they fucking fought back with guns and explosives and absolutely wrecked the cops. How about the Flint sit-down strike from December 1936 to January 1937? Or the Haymarket riot, or the Haymarket Affair as it's called, May the 4th, 1886. Or the Great Railroad Strike of 1877. I don't understand why cops are such bootlickers. Like, I literally today just arrested a cop for interfering with their attempt to detain an immigrant. Do you cops not understand that you aren't safe just because the thin blue line exists? Or are you really banking on that badge being the only thing that saves you? You know what happened to the Gestapo at the end of World War II? Maybe re-examine where did the wheels fall off of your ideological wagon, and then decide whose fucking side you want to be on when we start to build some new shit. Because I guarantee you, if it comes down to a fucking war and we tear everything fucking down, when we rebuild it, we're going to do shit right this time. And there's not going to be any fucking glossing over the shit that's gone on like we did with the fucking Confederacy. Nah. Nope. That is my time for today. Unfortunately, there's so much going on in the world right now that I can't cover everything, but I also really wanted to talk about the recent legislative change to the Veterans Administration, where now Trump says the VA can refuse service to a veteran if that veteran is a Democrat or unmarried, which, I mean, that last one is just really fucking off the wall and out there in left field. Anyway, I'll do that one later this week, like tomorrow, I guess. The resistance starts with us. You want to know how you can get involved in the Sons of Liberty resistance movement? We've organized Sons of Liberty chapters by region and by state all across the country. Please do not ask me in the comment sections if we have a chapter in such and such state or such and such region. You need to get on our Discord server because that is where our organization starts its base of operations. For OPSEC purposes, you'll hear that word again, I'm just not going to respond to these inquiries in public spaces. OPSEC, I have this whole ass video linked right up there in the corner if you're watching this on YouTube. This whole video on a subject called OPSEC, or Operation Security. OPSEC is essentially the practice of denying information to your opposition, whoever or whatever that may be. So watch this video if that's a foreign concept to you. Maybe take some notes, maybe make some changes to how you do stuff online. OPSEC is as simple as not having your Facebook profile posting public posts where shit asses like me control you or use your posts against you. It's also as simple as not making your Discord username your real name or whatever. Speaking of Discord, I promote the Sons of Liberty Discord server in almost every long-form rant video that I do because Discord is where our Farm of Liberty is based, and it's also how you get vetted for Signal, which is a separate platform that maybe you heard about in the news because of Pete Whiskey Leaks Keg Breath. On our Discord server, you can organize with local Fam of Liberty for things like rallies and protests and bake sales. You can get vetted for Signal, which is how we coordinate protest actions and other things. On our Discord, you can also learn about practical things such as self-defense courses and find firearms instructors who are local to you and who are left-leaning. You can learn about home defense and home security, participate in firearms discussions with subject matter experts, learn about growing your own food in your own victory gardens, and then canning, enjoying, preserving that food, putting you miles ahead of preppers who just want to steal shit from other people because all they thought about was guns and ammo. On that note, you can figure out your shit hits the fan contingency plans, you can build first aid kits, you can build bug out bags, you can link up with other Fam of Liberty members who can assist you with, as an example, going somewhere safe across state lines if you need to be safe for some camping with newly discovered long-lost aunties and uncles. For those of you who have mentioned in the comment sections that you don't see our social media posts or videos, even though you follow us, on Discord you can get updates from our social media, which does make our Discord ping heavy thanks to the webhooks that we use to integrate our various social media notifications. But you can disable those in the channel appropriately named ping roll if it's getting to you. If you're having trouble with Discord, we have a Sons of Liberty website, liberty1765.com, and Admin Asia and the web development team have done a magnificent job of putting up instructions on how to get on Discord. The invite link to our Discord server is in the Throatpunch at the end of this video and all of our other videos. That invite link is also in the Facebook and YouTube video descriptions and in the YouTube and TikTok channel descriptions. On Facebook, I also have a whole pinned post with all of our socials, as well as a Linktree page that has all the socials listed there as well. If you like the shirts, like this one, or the hoodie that I wear in my videos, some of them, but not all of them, are available in the Sons of Liberty merch store. On occasion, our Etsy store does have products that are temporarily disabled because MAGA fuckface ass clowns get triggered and then report the content as violent or dangerous or whatever. So then I have to go and appeal these claims and get a standard, we may take your store down for content violations if you keep this shit up. So if you're thinking about picking up a Sons of Liberty shirt or a flag or Big Sarge's snowflake tear collector or my big gay battle mug, or you want to get a Sons of Liberty logo shirt that says "Die Mad About It" to give to your racist Uncle Johnny as a gift, like for the lulz, then go and get you one. The link to the merch store is listed in the Linktree on our YouTube and TikTok channel description and in the YouTube and Facebook video descriptions. New merch goes up all the time, and a lot of these designs and merch get added specifically because you request them in the comment sections or you send me something for free 99 for me to put up so that everybody and their whole mom can get it. If you like our video content, we also have a whole social media presence elsewhere on like 15 different platforms, so we would appreciate it if you would follow us on all of our socials, whichever ones that you have. The various socials that we have are listed in the Throatpunch at the end of our videos and in the Linktree, which can be found on the channel description. On YouTube and TikTok, we would also appreciate it if you would subscribe, like, and get notifications on our channel. It's a little bit of a different process on TikTok, but if you're on TikTok, then you already know that. You can help us extend our reach by sharing our video content on all of your socials. Go find the relevant Sons of Liberty account on that platform, share the content, including this video, because it's probably linked there on the socials already. You can help us beat the algorithm by leaving us at least 7 words in the comments sections. Why 7 words, you might ask? I'm glad you asked, because posting at least 7 words in the comment section is the magic number for the mythical algorithm to decide that your engagement on our content is more meaningful and thought-provoking than a drive-by lull or what you said or one of the other things that you automatically type all the time that's not 7 words. Anyway, so the algorithm decides, therefore, it should suggest our videos and our channel to people who watch the same things that you watch. That algorithm works on most other social media platforms, so please be cognizant of that on places where you support your favorite content creators across the board, like me and the other admins of Liberty that post here. If you watch this video all the way to the end and nothing else that I've said stirs your mental processes to gift you with the words to leave a comment here, but you still want to help us beat the algorithm, then the phrase, "I made it to the end, Big Sarge," is actually 8 words, so you can be an overachiever if you can't think of anything else to say despite all of the rage bait that I've posted here or the things that I say that you think that are funny that I personally don't see it, and therefore will never ever be a stand-up comedian like Sam Miller or Cliff Cash. Cliff, you're watching. Love you, bro. Anyway, that is my time for today. 2 claps and a Rick. Whoopsh. Join or die. That is the motto. Everybody else can get fucked to die mad about it. Hashtag not sorry, not sorry. 2 claps and a Rick. Did I say that already? I'm going to say it again for like a second or third time. 2 claps and a Rick. Woo!
And now it's time for the Throatpunch!
At least according to Stormy Daniels. Daniels, what the fuck, really? It is more played out than Melania Trump's cooter. I'm gonna catch hell for that one.